If you're a B2B service provider with freelancers and people working in different time zones and you're having trouble coordinating them through Slack, I'm going to show you something really, really simple that you're probably missing, that if you have it is going to make all the difference. And I'm going to show you through a very, very simple automation here. So I'm going to send off what I call a crap Slack message, and then I'm going to send off what's called a good message. So if I just run this real quick, you will see that we have inside of this Slack channel a message from Integromat, which says, hey, new item ready to work on inside the project management system. Go to Airtable to check it out. Now, that is a notification and it does what essentially a notification is meant to do. But is it helping anyone? Do you know what task? Do you know who was meant to be assigned to this? Do you know what status that task is in? Do you know what needs to be done and the ways that they need to be done? Is there any understanding of what's meant to happen next? There really isn't from this message. However, if we go off and we send a good message, this is what a good message looks like. Instead of what we had there, we now have something which looks a little bit like this. New task, name, due date, status, person, click here to check it out. And this link takes us straight to our Airtable. And the Airtable shows us the exact list of items for the exact person in question. Now, what's the difference here between what we have and what is actually considered a good message? I'm going to forward you over to this board here, and this board is going to show you and explain to you a principle that I came up with, which has enabled all messaging to actually allow people to manage teams on the go in different time zones and make sure that when the owner wakes up, there is actually work that has been done overnight by the people who work in different time zones. And I call this the CAN principle. So what's the CAN principle? It is as simple as these 4 words: context, action, notification, navigation. So what do I mean when I say this? Well, if I go in and I screenshot the message that was sent, that was a good message, I'll be able to show you exactly how this principle is being followed. All right, so context. The context is everything in, goodness gracious, Lucid, stop doing this to me. All right, this is all of the context, all of this. So that's the context that we have. Then we have the action, and the action can be seen by this button here, which says click here. So click here, this is just going to highlight it and remove it, but okay, there we go. So this is click here to check it out. This is your action. This is the thing that needs to be done, which can be illustrated further by what's inside of the message. This is the notification, and you can see the tag right here at my name, this right here. And then you have navigation, and the navigation here is the link. And I'm having an absolute nightmare with Lucid today, but this is the link. So you can see the elements of this. Now, in fact, this is also the context, and I'll talk to you about how this gets made in a way that means that every single message that you send to the people on your team, depending on what the trigger is, needs to follow this, and it needs to have this information inside of it. And it needs to basically look like this as well. This is something that, so I make a lot of these videos, not just for the people that are watching who are running their own businesses, who are running into problems that I would normally solve for them. I also make this for my own team, because one of the things that pops up all of the time is when there are certain activities that happen all the time, i.e. there are 50 or 70 different tasks being worked on by 8 or 9 different people, and things are moving from stage to stage inside of whatever project management system is set up. Certain things need certain notifications. Certain things need certain actions to occur because of them. So for example, if we have a board for, let's say, an email marketing agency, this email marketing agency is creating an email that needs to go out for one of their clients. The very first stage is always going to be, like backlog or to plan or something along those lines. So let's say backlog moves into plan. The planning stage is done by whoever is the copywriter. So the copywriter gets a notification that says that they need to plan some new content. After that, the content has been planned, it now needs to be written by the copywriter. And then after it's been written, it now needs to be designed by the designer. So it would move from stage 3 to stage 4. And then once it's been designed, it moves over to development, which is building it and turning it into something that can be put into Klaviyo or MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or whatever's being used for this specific piece of copy. And then it needs to be published, scheduled, etc. And that's for the social media manager or the operations manager. Those are all different checkpoints. And if these people live in different parts of the world and you're working alongside them, but you're not there every single moment of the day for things that need to go out at specific times, you need to be able to notify all of the people who are working on the things that they're working on to ensure that everything works and happens as and when it should, so that nothing falls through the cracks. So this is how we actually build these, and I'm going to show you in NAN how to actually create this for yourself. So what I've done here, if I drop this down, I've got the crap message in here inside of NAN. I'm playing around with both Make and NAN here because both of them have Slack. Zapier has the exact same thing, but there are specific buttons that are present in all of them that you need to be able to click in every single one of these, and I'm showing you exactly what to click as well. So this is your bot that is inside of your channel. So this is my bot called Daedalus. We're going to send a message to a channel called Automations, and it's going to be a simple text message. I'll make another video about blocks and how that can be used, but simple text message is all we need right now. So this is the crap message. We can see that there's actually nothing here and there's nothing to actually add to this, and it fulfills the same need that was meant to be fulfilled, but it's just done so in a very poor manner, because on NAN, instead of, Integromat or Make or whatever you'd be seeing here, what we have instead is global automations. Hey, new item ready to work on. Go to Airtable to check it out. Automate with this NAN workflow. Ugly, rubbish, terrible. So what we're going to do instead is we are going to build the better automation. And you can see here that right now we actually have an Airtable step, the same way we do inside of make.com. All we're doing is we're just grabbing information from this card over here. So what we will do is, if I open it up, you'll see that what we're doing is we're grabbing a record from my workspace inside of Airtable, inside of this base, inside of this table, and it's this record. So if I execute this step, what you'll see is we grab all the information about the task itself, including the client and everything else. And then we're going to send a message. So I'm going to make this message in front of you. I'm going to borrow most of the meat of the text, because this is the thing that will stay the same irrespective. And then what I've done here is I've gotten the @ of the username of the person, which if you go into your Slack and you click on any specific person, I'll just click on me because I'm inside of this channel right now. If I go here and I click on the 3 dots and then I go to copy member ID, that will give me this. If I put an @ symbol and then a back arrow and then a front arrow, that is the signature for how to show or how to notify somebody. So that's how I came up with that. Click here to check it out. This content here is a link and then a slash and then words and another arrow. So the way that works is if I want to put any link, google.com, and then I put this bar item here, and then I put the word Google, and then I click that as the arrow, the forward arrow to kind of like enclose this. What this sends is what it's meant to send, google.com, but I think because there's no HTTPS, it didn't actually send it. www.google.com. Let me try it one more time. Yep, what we can see here, this is now a hyperlink to Google, and if I click this, it'll just open up Google, just like that. So that is the nomenclature, the naming system for Google or for any hyperlink that you want to make. So that's just me showing you how this was built in and of itself. So now what we're going to do is we're going to drag some more information from the Airtable record and use this to fulfill the CAN principle. So what do we have right now and what's missing right now? We have from here the notification. So this is the @ which means that the person who is logged into Slack on their mobile or on desktop is going to get a notification. Because this is shown, it will pop up inside of their notifications, push notifications on their phone or wherever it may be, so that they know that things need to be done. This is the action. Click here to check it out. This is also in part based on the context that's going to be provided, namely the status, which if we dragged in, you'll be able to see. And then we have the hyperlink, and this is your navigation. This is the thing that they need to click on in order to go to the work that they need to do. So we have action, we have notification, and we have navigation. We now need to build context. And context comes from the previous step, which is the Airtable step that we had. And all we're going to do is a very simple naming system, which is just the item variable, item variable, item variable. Easiest way to do it. So if I just put the name colon, and then I drag in the name of the project. I'm going blind. Where's the name gone? Here it is, project name. So this is the project name, and you can see what the result is here. Name, this is the name of the project. Status, drag this over. And now we have the status, due date, and we have that one there as well. So now we have the due dates. Now we can go in and we can, put forward the dot format or whatever it would be, as far as like how to make this function something that would be a date that's a little bit friendlier to look at. And if you wanted that to look a specific way, I'll show you exactly how that looks right now. So if I click dot to date time, and then I click another dot again, format, it's going to ask me for a format that I want to put this date in. So you can see here that it's given us YYYY, which is years, dot mm/m-mm-dd. So this is the years, these are the months, these are the dates. If you want a specific way in order to actually have that look, what you can do is you can visit this website, which you can find inside of the help guides, and it shows you what these tokens are. Now, this is just a way for you to show the seconds, minutes, days, months, years, etc. So if I want to show August, then I would put 4 M's here. And if I go back in here, I could say MM. So you can see how this is changing, right? Look at the due date here. So if I just say M, it gives me the number 2. 2 M's give me O2. 3 M's give me the 3-letter version of that word. And then you can see how that all works. So 2 of these on the date gives you this number. Y gives you all of these as well. So if I put Y in here, there's a number of ways to do this, but if I just stick to Feb 10, 2026, it would look like MMM space DD space YYYY. Feb 10, 2026. And that is how we can format this to make this look a little bit better. But we have the context here, just like that. The other things that we would add to the context are hidden inside of some of these options. So if I send this message now, the way that it looks, instead of what we had before, which is this, it looks like this now. This is in fact, let me just make this a little bit clearer. This is the name, this is the status, this is the due date. Click here to check it out. Now, this isn't perfect because we still have this as the name. We have this, which isn't really showing us anything. And we have this annoying automated with this NaN workflow button, which I just absolutely hate looking at. So the final things that you need to do in order to develop the context a little bit more is to give the bot that you're using an emoji or a logo or something, and to change the names and the stuff around it as well. So we already have some context here, name, status, due date. We have the action, click here to check it out. We have the notification, which is this here, and we have the navigation, which is right here. Now we just need to prettify this up a little bit. So what I like to do is, a lot of the times, include link to workflow, I always turn off. Link user and channel names, I'll always turn on. This ensures that the person gets the notification. Send as a user, this here is not the one that, in fact, I think this is the one. So if I just type in new task the same way, I think send as a user, send as a bot doesn't change on any end, but I believe that's what it is. Unfurl media, this means that if you have a link, it's going to pop up with either the SEO description or just the way that it looks when it's meant to show you the thing that's underneath the message. So if you see here, I added the Google button here. Unfurl media gives me this here. If I click on this here, which is the Airtable link, unfurl media gives me this. I don't like these. I'll always just remove them because it just messes up this. And if you have, 50, 60, 70 different messages going into one specific channel, a lot of the times it will look like that and it's not good to look at. So I will always turn off unfurl media. Same thing with unfurl links. So those here will give me basically everything that I need. The last thing is a custom bot profile photo. This is always going to be an emoji code. And for us to find the emojis, the best way that I like to find emojis is from a website called emojibase.dev. And what you can do when you are on emojibase.dev, by default, all of these presets will be open and it's just going to expand this out a lot. Because we're dealing with Slack, I want to know what the exact code is for Slack. So you can see here, you got all of these emojis, you've got the smiley faces, you've got the angel faces, you've got the money faces and so on and so forth. This, for example, is for a quality check. So I can put, let's say, the monocle. So I can have this here. I'll go down to the Slack part and then I'll copy this Slack code, and all of these Slack codes are always colon, the name of the thing, and then colon. I'll then go back in to here and then I'll add this emoji code. And this, once I get rid of the spaces, this will give me a much cleaner message. So when I send it off, you'll see now that it says new task, monocle, name, status, due date, click here to check it out. And that's it. So to summarize everything there, the can principle, which is what's going to help you with making sure that a lot of the work that is asynchronous, that's going to make your Slack feel like a home for the people that are working with you, all of that is going to be built on those 4 things: context, action, notification, navigation. If you have all of those 4, you will be able to send the messages that you need to send in every shape and format that they're meant to go in, and everybody understands exactly what they need to do and can move over to do the thing from within the Slack channel, because this is a link. This takes you straight to the project management system. For some of the other examples that I have with other clients, and I can probably show you a couple of these just based on the fact that this is a test channel. You can see here, workflow. This is the date, project. Click here to check Dubsado for the workflow approval details. This link takes them straight to Dubsado. If I go further up, you'll see here, new brief, title. This is the title of the brief. Click here for the link, and this takes you to straight to a Google Doc. So you can see how this all plays out, and you can see what the different formats and different ways that this ends up looking. But overall, as long as you are following the CAN principle, context, action, notification, navigation, you won't go wrong. Now, this is a very, very elementary and fundamental automation, but because this is a send a message button from Slack, not only does this affect all of the things that you're going to do in NAN or in make.com, this is also going to affect how you would then go in if you're on the more advanced side and you're now looking at things like Claude Code and Cursor and agentic workflows and some of the things that are way further ahead. If you now know that you need bots with messages, you need a specific format, and the links and the hyperlinks that you're going to feed it need to be able to show people where they need to go without giving you the giant unfurled media. This is something that you now are able to prompt better. So when you're making any messages that are speaking to agentic workflows back and forth, it will format things the way that you want it to be formatted. And having this general understanding, even though this is very, very elementary, is also going to allow you to build things that you know in one shot are going to have the right format requirements when AI is involved. So hope you enjoyed this video. This is a very, very basic one, but it's something that I see all the time getting wrong. So if you're looking for more ways to automate more of your business and make it so that your team can work at maximum capacity at all times of the day without your intervention, then click a link below. There's going to be some links to some videos as well somewhere. So I will see you on the next one, and have a good day.